The clips that you're gonna see in this video took place before I went to prison, when my mind and my way I carried myself was way lower standards than it is now. Okay? Like, that's how I carried myself, like an animal, before I went to prison and I rehabilitated myself.
A hold down man, suitcase this, my cell phone and my charger, don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see you ass, you gon' leave airlifted.
Welcome back to K-Frog TV, man. Y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can see it first. All right, for the most part, I'm gonna be breaking it down, speaking to y'all how I've grown up a lot from where I came from, and how I branded my name K-Frog before I got incarcerated. You know, I've always pushed K-Frog TV. It didn't start in prison. You know, I just kept it going while I was down and bad at my worst time. All right. So for the most part, you know, the way I grown up, you know, I was just, you know, I grew up in a little bad environment. You know, I actually had a clothesline that I was pushing before the merch that I've recently been dropping. Ride with your fire, stay your ass home was the motive. You know, it had K-Frog logos on the t-shirts and everything. And everybody in my hood loved it. Everybody was copping them. Everybody was, you know, on that street vibe. And to me, I've came a long way because when I was younger, you know, I sold regs when I was about 13 years old until I landed in the juvenile program. You know, I had just sold, I remember buying, you know, you can get a whole ounce for $50 back then. You know, and I remember I would sack it up. You can even get it for up to $35 sometimes. And I remember I had the best, you know, bud going around in my neighborhood. And I would sack it up, you know, sell nickel bags, sack it up, sell nickel bags, and save up, save up, save up. Then I fell into the juvenile program. But saving my money at such a young age made me feel like I accomplished something. And to me, that was one of my biggest accomplishments, you know, from my own money. You know, and on my own or whatever. Even though I didn't get the vehicle until I got out of the juvenile program, you know, which I'll be dropping a video about how I was at the program and all that stuff. You know, I have that lined up and everything too. But even though I didn't get the vehicle until I came home from the juvenile program, it still was one of my biggest accomplishments because I know I made that money. You know, I hustled for that money. I made that money, you know. And I remember my whole bid while I was in there, you know, receiving pictures of different cars and, you know, asking my peoples to send me pictures of these cars, you know, because I was young and I just wanted to look at different types of cars. But that was the first car I ended up getting. You know, it was a big accomplishment. But, you know, after that, you know, it got more and more into the more I grown up, the more violent situations I'd get myself into. Because growing up, you know, in my neighborhood, we had, you know, the color blue was the color of my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't no gang shit, you know, but we banged our neighborhood. We repped our neighborhood, which I still do rep Eastside Dave E to the fullest. And me growing up, blue was the color of my neighborhood. You know, we had a lot of, you know, Crips down in Broward around that time in the area and stuff like that. A lot of them my dogs and shit like that. But it was never a gang thing when it came to the blue to us. It was always like we didn't care who was what. We fought Crips. We fought Bloods. You know, we fought GDs. We fought Kings. We didn't care who it was. We didn't rep blue for no gang. We rep blue because that was our neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? Even my dad, you know, my dad kept a blue bandana because my neighborhood was blue before I was even born. That was just what color it was for my neighborhood. We started off drinking at a young age. You know, we started off partying at a young age. It didn't matter how old you were or whatever. You could walk into any store, get anything. All them people, you know, that were working there, you know, they're not there no more, but we're grown, you know. So by the time we got to the age to where it was the legal limit to allowed to turn up and allowed to drink and allowed to party and everything like that, you know, we done did it all already, you know. So that's why I slowed down, and I don't do that shit these days, nowadays. I don't party and hang out and stuff like that, you know. And it ain't because you know, it ain't because, you know, I don't want to. To me, we done did it all when we, like, my whole life growing up. So now that I'm older, you know what I'm saying, it's my choice, and I choose not to. So I just stay on the cool, mellow side, and that's, for the most part, you know, what it is. And by the time, you know, we hit, you know, legal limit to where, you know, we're allowed to finally turn up and drink, it only lasted so long until, you know, we was tired of it. Because, you know, back then we didn't have, you know, video clips of us drinking and getting thrashed as we were young. But I do have some from around the time that I was at my last of actually partying and hanging out like that.
K-Frog TV! Daisy with it! Eastside! You know, we in this bitch! Hey, we need one more bottle!
We were hitting the clubs, drinking. Everywhere we went, we got crunk. That's what we called it, getting crunk. You know, we was young, drinking and driving, hitting liquor stores very young, you know, middle of the daytime, getting crunk, looking for someone's head to bust open. You know, like, we used to do so much different shit, you know, and when I look at it now, it's like, yeah, it was dumb. You know, but it made me the person I am, who I am today, because I done got it all out the way before I even ended up going to prison. You feel me? You fuck niggas can't stop me. You niggas ain't on what I'm on. Fuck niggas. So to me, there's no need, you know, to turn up, get crunk. To me, that shit just a waste, because I done did it so much. That shit's played out. It's like as soon as the alcohol would kick in, you know, whether we were drinking beer or whether we were drinking OE's malt liquor or E&J, it always led to ride with your fire or stay your ass home. We ain't even really care about, you know, drinking and driving. It was all about who's gonna drive drunk this time. Because that's just how it was. As long as we had a driver, we was gonna slide. Our life was on the line plenty of times.
Real niggas do real things.
One more time. That shit out. You know, everywhere we went, you know, we got into some shit. You know, like, it didn't matter. Like, we'd end up drinking, we'd end up getting into it with someone somewhere, you know, or at the end of the night, we'd get into it with each other. You know, we grew up hitting each other with bricks, you know, bricking each other's cars and windshields or houses, or, you know, busting people across the head with bottles, hitting people with crowbars, you know. Then as we got older, you know, by the time we turned like 17 to 18 and up and stuff like that, right before I went to prison, that's when it all started, to where we started playing with gunplay, you know. And then that's when I, you know, really started pushing the ride with your fire, stay your ass home brand, you know. Like, I've had it tatted on me forever, you know, and it's got a Davy boy right here, DB in his hat, with a fire, ride with your fire. Got this clown right here with a machine gun shooting. Or stay your ass home. And it's got this one right here. He done got shot 5 times. So, when I first started the K-Frog TV, you know, it was on a negative thing. And that ain't the way that I wanted to continue. So that's why I don't got them t-shirts going no more like that. That's why my t-shirts ain't what they were when they first came out.
K-Frog TV right here, alright? Y'all niggas need to ride with your fire, stay your ass home, nigga. I don't see neither one of you niggas. Police ass niggas, ride with your fire, fuck niggas. You already know that.
It's in the hood, bitch. Ride with your fire, stay your ass home. Other night in the hood, Davey with it, nigga. That's how we ride. Every street blocked off, bitch.
Another one of them nights. Got them boys all out on the sidewalk. Davey, East Side, smash shit in the parking lot. K-Frog TV, bitch, back live in effect, fuck nigga. You fuck niggas can't stop me, nigga. Get your ammunition up, nigga. Route 5, stay ass home, fuck nigga. Davey with it, fuck boy. K-Frog TV, back in action.
Now, my little neighborhood, you know, is separate from the rest. You know, it was going down in my neighborhood at the time. You know, my bubble, I had a 96 Crown Vic, and my bubble alone, you know, was making noise. Was people see that bubble and they knew to get out of the way. I'd bend the corner on the block or different places and everyone would duck because they knew the type of lifestyle that me and people was involved with at that time, you know. And like I said, I ended up getting hit in the arm right here one time where I have no aim at. And then after I got hit right here, you know, just 4 or 5 hours later, I was back at it. No, and it just went uphill with getting into different situations and you know, my name being all through the streets from all different types of things. And not that much longer, but probably within the next, you know, 6-7 months, you know, due to different things going on in my neighborhood and different situations left and right happening, you know, my car eventually was on the radar heavy. Police even took my bubble and placed it in evidence at the police department. You know, they ruined my paint job with the evidence tape. They taped the whole car up and everything like that due to a shooting that took place in my neighborhood. You know, they said I was a suspect in a shootout. You know, they found a bullet hole in my car, and then something that happened in the neighborhood, and they tried to put 2 and 2 together, and they took my car, and it was actually sitting on the side of the police department, wrapped up in the evidence tape. You know, they tried to say that they had a witness that seen me do something, and the detective ended up, you know, calling, you know, my house phone at the time, get me to come down there. They like surrounded the whole house. You know, they surrounded the house like they were gonna raid the house and everything, and they pulled up with tow trucks and took my car. You know, and then they the detective tried to say on the phone that he needed my say-so and he needed me to be there present when he searches the car because they were looking for bullet shells and stuff like that. And I told him, what you mean? Y'all just came here and took my whip, this and that, this and that. And he was like, you know, I'm not gonna lie. You come down here, let us search the vehicle, but if I find probable cause, I will arrest you. And I told him, well, y'all just took my vehicle, so you must have probable cause. And then they tried to tell me, well, if you don't come down here and claim it, we're going to put it up for, you know, we're going to put it up for auction. And then I told them, well, then you might as well go ahead. I'll buy another car. And then that's when they were like, okay, if you don't come down here, we're going to contact your probation officer. Because I was on probation at the time. And I said, and they said, you'll be violated. And I said, on what charges? I ain't came in contact with no police or y'all or anything like that. What are the charges? So then after a while, after like 60 days went by of my car sitting there wrapped up in evidence tape, my sister typed a letter to the chief of the police department explaining how this is a messed up situation. They took my car, you know, and they literally, you know, like they were praying to get something on me to take me to jail. And then once they took the vehicle, we seen them one street over. It was sitting on top of a tow truck, and they were sitting there until they had probable cause to take the car. So what it is they took the car before they got the okay to take the car. You see what I'm saying? And then eventually when they said that it can be released now, I didn't trust it. So me and my dad had the same name. So my dad went up there and picked it up just in case the police were going to try to arrest him or anything like that. And then that's how I ended up getting my bubble back.
For the record, my bubble is back in the game. So all you niggas that claim you're looking for me or are gonna whack me and got bands on my head, I ain't hard to find. And I'm in the same car.
My name alone, K-Frog, rang bells in my neighborhood, and it still does. You see what I'm saying? So, and you know, it was just a different movement at the time. You know, it was at the point to where, you know, like, people couldn't even go to the gas station or go get milk from the store or anything like that, send their kids to the store, because of how bad the environment was at the time and the lifestyle that I was involved in. Even part of my case when I got sent to prison, the Davie Neighborhood Crime Watch, or whatever it was, the Neighborhood Watch, the main person from that, some lady, the head lady, the president, she really like typed up a letter and they used it against me in court, saying that someone's gonna end up dying if he's out here on the streets, this and that, blase squaze, because, you know, I adapted into a violent lifestyle, and that's just how I pushed it. You see what I'm saying? I take being on the streets right now, you know, a second chance at life, because, you know, I would have been dead or doing a life sentence, you know, the way that I was living before. So that's why I carry myself different now, and I use my brain instead of acting first. I think 4 or 5 steps ahead of the game, just like a game of chess, because me being out right now with my children and spending time with my family, even having another kid since I've been home from prison, is a second chance at life to me. And I know my old boy's in heaven, you know, watching me, you know, and he's proud of who I became. You know, it's a juvenile charge, you know, boom. My first juvenile charge was a stab charge. You know, I caught a stab charge when I was an adult also. Aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. You see, so I was playing with knives and guns on the streets before I even landed myself in prison. But now that I'm home, you know, I have kids, I have things to worry about. So I kind of like, you know, I try to backtrack to where I don't have to live like that no more. I've already made a name for myself. You know, my name was K-Frog on the streets before I even went to prison. And a lot of people that, you know, I was actually vibing with, you know, on the streets, you know, like my circle who I grew up with, you know, they're no longer here with me. You know what I'm saying?
Tell you fuck niggas, man. I'm on that shit. I'm back to the old ghost, nigga. I don't see none one of you fuck niggas. Line that shit up, run it, do whatever you want to do, and come with that gunplay, I'ma take it live.
K-Frog TV, bitch.
Fuck niggas.
You know, we literally like grew up riding around looking for trouble, looking for something to get into. To us, trouble was funny.
He lucky I was here. I was
Straight bumping, nigga. Ah, nigga. At Taco Bell, bitch.
right. Oh.
Niggas with bottles over here.
God damn.
Uh-oh. Who this for, Frog?
Dirt, this for you, fuck nigga.
Uh-oh. 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 Let me zoom in. Hold on. Uh-oh. Hey, Dirt, guess what? You just got knocked the fuck out.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we see someone walking down the street that was from the wrong side of the neighborhood and he wasn't with his homeboys, we'd pull up laughing and shit and jump out and surround them and make them fight me one-on-one. Or you know, we just did stupid things at the time. We'd get in, you know, shootouts or whatever, and we'd be laughing about it. You know, it was just always, you know, it was a different part of life than what it is I'm trying to do now with my movement. So I kept K-Frog TV going while I was in prison. But when I jump out, you know, on the streets, I'm not pushing the same bad energy that I was before. You see, now I have a voice and people are listening to my voice or whatnot, you know. So a lot of people from my neighborhood, you know, they salute me because I took a negative thing and turned it into a positive thing. And that's what I'm trying to do. Okay? Like, for those that don't know, K-Frog TV did not start in prison. It started on the streets. Before I went to prison, anyone can follow me on Instagram at KFrog_100, and you can literally backtrack to before I even went up the road, and you can see how me and everyone was shouting out K-Frog TV, you know, and how we, you know, I branded it. I branded my name K-Frog. I'm known in my hood as K-Frog. I got it tattooed on me when I was very young, right here. You know, I got it tattooed on me on the streets when I was very young, so I made it K-Frog TV. See what I'm saying? And then I even got into it with a couple people out here on the streets before that made videos like from my neighborhood and posted it and hashtag KFrog TV. And I got into it with them or whatever because I was more on like, nigga, what you doing? This me, I'm Frog TV, bro. You ain't finna just be, you see? But now that it's a positive thing, you know, it is what it is. A lot of these trolls, a lot of different people, they hashtag their videos KFrog TV just to get views, or even in the caption KFrog or KFrog TV, you know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, that is my name. You see what I'm saying? That is literally my name. That's my name. See what I'm saying? Like literally, like I branded my logo and my name before any of this stuff that y'all are seeing right now on YouTube. Okay? Now, you got to think about it too. Before I went to prison, you could only record like 15 seconds of videos on Instagram. That's why most of these clips you've seen are so short. You see, when I came home from prison, it was to where you can add a minute now. So all these little clips were from when you were only allowed to put 15 seconds worth of footage up on Instagram. And there were so much things that I can't put out there or put on here now because my lifestyle wasn't all peaches and cream. So I can't just show y'all whatever. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to put myself in jeopardy when I've been doing good this long just to make people, you know, hell yeah, you know, if they rock with it, they rock with it. But I'm not going to put myself and my freedom at jeopardy again just for some old clips. You see what I'm saying? And old things that went on and stuff like that. Because there's lists fulls of them, you know. But like I said, you know, I just wanted to make this video real quick and chop it up to show y'all how I've grown up into a better person. You know, I took my time while I was in prison to use this. That's it. I use this now. Before, I didn't use this before I went to prison. Before, I would use this, you know, this, these, you know, or whatever it led to, whatever it was, any situation. We was not bucking no call outs. We was not turning down any conflict, any situations. Anyone from my neighborhood who's grown up where I am from will tell you KFrog has had a name in the streets before I even dropped anything on YouTube, anything on Instagram. I had a name on the streets before MySpace came out. And then when MySpace came out, I made my page. And boom, boom, like my name has been KFrog since I was very little. Okay? And a lot of people know that. You get what I'm saying? Like, my mom, when she texts me and stuff, she puts the frog with the hearts emojis. You know, like she literally like, you know, when I'm around my, you know, my family, you know, they know I'm Frog. I'm Frog. You see what I'm saying? Like I've had this name so long that I branded it into a movement and made it KFrog TV. But for the most part, you know, I just want to break it down a little bit. You know, this isn't no big exciting video or whatever. I know a lot of people probably hoping I threw in a bunch of bad, violent flicks, but I'm not going to really put nothing like that in there that's going to jeopardize me and what I got going on, because then it's against the movement that I'm planning, that I've been planning the whole time. It's going up like this. So I would not put anything out there to jeopardize what I got going on. You see what I'm saying? But anyways, for the most part, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. You already know this KFrog.